What's up, people? Welcome back to the BCMA podcast. That's the Black Clover Martial Art podcast, and this is episode number 29. On this episode, I touch base with a good friend of mine. This is Coach Chuck Morgan out in Bermuda. He owns Fight City Gym. If you're in Bermuda, make sure you check him out. Otherwise, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the holiday, enjoy your family and friends. 2021 is right around the corner. If you want to stop by the gym, you already know what it is, www.luckysmt.com. Keep the like, hit the subscribe. Here's Coach Chuck Morgan. Peace. Welcome to the show, my man. This is Coach Chuck Morgan from Fight City Muay Thai. Did I get that right?
You got it right, yeah.
This is my brother. I've known him for a long time. We've done some training here in Miami. And I just want to touch base on this beautiful holiday. Notice the Santa hat.
Looks like it should say Bah Humbug. I don't know, man. What's going on?
I know, man. I couldn't find a red one, so you got to do what you got to do.
That's right. I got like a surfing hat going on, so yeah, I'm about as festive as it gets in blue and blue. So
that's so funny because I was like, this is a real tropical Christmas,
Yeah.
I'm in Miami and you're in Bermuda, and I mean, surfer hat. Yeah. I got the black Santa hat going.
At least I'm wearing a hoodie. I made it kind of seem a little more.
What? I just took mine off.
Is. Oh man! So it's been cold in Miami, huh?
No, we had a few cold days that got down like 48. So it's not really cold, but like I said in the show, like it goes from like 80 to 40. So it's not necessarily as cold as people would think, but that drop in the 40 degrees is.
Yeah, we got down to 61, man. I was like, "What am I doing with my life?" 61 degrees. I gotta put on snowshoes here.
Oh, that's hilarious. So tell me, man, first let's get started. Let's go back a little bit. How'd you get started doing Muay Thai?
Oh man. So really, like I got started, I was out in Singapore for work, and I couldn't sleep, man. The time change in Singapore was crazy. I'd just gotten out there. I'd been watching UFC and stuff, and I'd been watching and I was like, oh, I want to do something. And I couldn't sleep, so I went out running in the mornings, like 5 o'clock in the morning. I went out for a little run. And Singapore is the most clean place in the world, man. Safest place. And I was just running around, and I saw this place. And these guys are like hitting pads at 5:30 in the morning at Evolve MMA out in Singapore. Right. And I was like, tomorrow morning, I'm going to come and do that. And tomorrow morning, like the next morning, I walked in, I was like, look, I want to try this out. I'm not here for a long time, but I'll be here every day. And I went in there and started hitting pads, and it was amazing. I'd done Taekwondo, I competed in Taekwondo, when I was a kid, like when I was 15 and stuff. And I really just I wanted to try something new while I was out there. And ended up being just, fell in love with the culture, just with the sport. Came back to Bermuda, and I was like, oh man, I want to do this in Bermuda. And there was nobody really doing Muay Thai here. We had one guy who was here, and he had left. He was a Canadian guy. He had left. And I was like, well, I guess if I want to do this, I got to do it by myself. So kind of found a couple of guys who were doing some kickboxing stuff. And really I was like, well, what about this? Let's do a little training together. Ended up training, doing a couple of different things, and really just traveled. I found you in Miami a couple of times. When I was down there, I got to travel for work. So every time I traveled for work, I'd find a gym. I was like, I'm going to go train a little bit. I'm just going to keep doing that everywhere I went. So I was in New York, I train. I was in Orlando, I train. I just got to do that a bunch. And then I was like, look, man, I'm gonna kind of try and do this, learn it on, I know how you and I have had this conversation about how you were learning on videos and learning the different things, man, and just trying them out. And that's what we were doing. And then, I've got to work with some really good coaches, and, I've got to, definitely gotten better as a coach over the past few years, and really, trying to help people level up. And, we've had some success out of Bermuda. We had a couple of guys, travel out to TBAs. We've had some belts out there. We've done some interesting things for
Good,
a
man.
really small community.
You're like a pioneer out there. You know what I mean? Like, for real, it's great to see that you took something and grew it like that.
Yeah, I mean, there are still gyms in the States that have more people, in their gym than probably know what Thai boxing is in Bermuda, like
Right.
for everything. So I've really had to push more the fitness side of things
Of
to
course.
kind of get people in the door. So we've got a lot of people who come in and do fitness bag work. We have people come in and then they see the other guys who are training, like some of the guys on the fight team with some of the guys who've been training with me for a few years, and they're like, I just want to try it out, man. Let me get hit for the first time.
Right.
And it's always awesome to see kind of these moms who, like, they'll put on shin pads for the first time, and like they've been so afraid of like how much it's going to hurt, that when they do it and they're like, man, this wasn't bad at all. And then they're always the ones who are beating everybody else up. They're always the ones
It's
who are
crazy,
throwing
right?
hard, and like it's like that's what I really love about what Fight City's become. So
Right.
it's pretty
You
cool.
had you had another gym before that.
Yeah, so I actually owned like I, I want to say a CrossFit style gym
Okay.
before that. So it was called Beyond Fitness. We did like a bunch of different things, and then in the evening I would close the gym down, and we get the guys down there training on like hard rubber mats. And with a couple of sets of Thai pads we had, and we just bang away and try and get better. And that was when I formed the Bermuda Amateur Muay Thai Association.
Oh, man.
And so that was kind of where we've built, like, before COVID happened, man. We had like 42 kids in our program.
Wow.
Like we had a really good, like, it was called Bama Changs. It was like this really cool kids program. We were really like growing things in Bermuda. We had a couple of kids that we were planning to take away and like get their first like youth, like they called it the YDL. So it was like this youth development league, and we were going to take a couple of kids out to that. But man, COVID just crushed us.
Man. But look, the gym is back going. You're back in?
We're back in right now. I don't know how long that's going to last for, but we're currently, I think we're allowed 10 people in at a time. So we're just running more classes and, just trying to do that. We're on a bit of a Christmas break right now, but it's, we're trying to keep it. We're going to keep the doors open as long as we can.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, we did. We were kind of in the same boat, and we just decided, before we actually shut down, like 2 weeks before, I said, man, we should just cut down to 10 and keep it that way. And then we ended up shutting down. So when we opened back up, we just kept it 6 and 8. Like we added more classes. I mean, obviously things are starting to are going to get better in this next year. So we'll, hopefully
they've got
by
to,
summer.
man.
I know.
Like, I've got so many friends. I've got friends who have closed down their gyms.
Me too.
Like they've just closed down in California. California, they've just destroyed everybody out there. So, I don't want to. It's not political or anything. It's just the facts that these guys, they can't open their doors. They can't make money. One guy, Jonathan, he left, and I think he moved to Denmark or somewhere to open a gym, and he had like a successful gym in California running. And he's just decided, heck, man, I'm just gonna pick up, move, and do it all again.
Yeah, man, I've seen a lot of the same thing, and it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing. I hope that everybody that lost their jobs, not just in the gyms but everywhere, that they're able to somehow get back on their feet in this next year, and that there's a big boom worldwide, and some normalcy by at least fall.
Well, I'm hoping. Yeah, it's got. I mean, vaccines and stuff. Who knows? Who knows how quickly that's going to go? But
Right.
hopefully we get like a little summertime boost again, like we did last year. We're able to open up again and get things going. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm keeping my
Yeah,
fingers
man.
crossed that everybody and I've got friends because Bermuda, man, it's a real big tourist destination.
I know. I know.
So we've had hotels that are closed down. 400 people in one hotel lost a job in one day. Like they just went to work and they called them in and said, "We're
That's
shut
it.
down." That's it. I know 400 people might not sound like a lot but we're a small community, 60,000 people. Those 400 people losing their jobs just it's really, really like making people struggle in other areas as well here. But
Yeah.
and we've kept open. So if you lost your job and you can't pay, you're still coming to the gym. Like there's
Yeah.
nobody that I'm turning away right now. Like
Good.
and it's just we'll make up the money somehow. We'll come out on the other side, and we're going to come out on
Yeah,
the other
man.
side stronger. But we're not going to be able to do it if we can't keep our students. And even then, I've lost half of my students.
Yeah, man. It's been weird, man. It's been weird. I mean, we've actually done pretty well lately, but like we lost half of our students, and then we had to restart to rebuild. And I mean, it's tough out there, brother. It's tough. But look, you're still standing. I'm still standing, and as you said, we've seen a lot of places close. So I'm so living in gratitude right now because, woo, could have been a lot worse, man, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. No, gotta like every day, man, be grateful. Like I tell my students that, be grateful for walking in the gym today. Like, if you've had a hard day, if you've you know, something's gone wrong, man, just be happy to be in here. Like there's so many people, who can't.
Yeah,
Like the guy who raised me this year passed away from cancer. And he was at the gym up until the day that he found out, pretty much. And he found out, and within a year, unfortunately, like he passed away. He just, and he was, he was a big part of my life. And I tell people like that, man, just be grateful you can be here, because
yeah, man.
he would have done anything to be in your shoes. I tell
That's
and
real,
and
man.
yeah. So, it's been a shitty year, man. Like
Hey,
it
man, we're
has,
gonna come out on top, though.
and look,
Listen, soon as this shit is
2021 is
over,
going to be better.
soon as this shit is over, I'm coming out there, brother. I'm coming to see you.
You've
We've
got
been
to,
talking
man.
about it forever, bro, but I'm
Yeah.
coming now. Now the gym is settled in. Things are gonna settle, I think, even more, and we're kind of have some ideas of things we're gonna do. So I'm not where I was before, where I was just, it was just me. I have some good
Yep.
people around me now. We're about 4 years in, so I can actually be like, yo, I'm gonna take a week or whatever and go see a friend or take a break, and I think we're getting to that point. So I'm coming.
You and I are on such, like we were talking about before, like that same thing. I'm just in 3 years, and I've just got for the new gym, and I've just got a good group of coaches that I can rely on, where I'm
Right.
not at the gym, and thinking about the gym for every moment. I still got a full-time job. I'm still working full-time and then going to the gym after. So
Yeah.
it's really good on the nights that like I have my kids, that I can say, look, I'm going to take the night off and not have to be, worried
Freaking
that
out.
the whole place, the place is going to burn down while I'm not there.
Yeah, man, I know, brother. I know. I feel, this is for me, this is a good moment because I see, we've always talked about this, but there's definitely a reflection of the two of us that kind of goes back and forth. We're kind of always sort of, at least in the last 10 years or whatever, kind of riding that sort of same trajectory. And here we are making it through a pandemic at the same time with our budding gyms.
I gotta
Tell
turn
me this.
pro when I'm in my 40s, like you did, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to do it, brother. You're going
At
to do
some
it.
point, yeah, man, for sure.
Why not? Listen, why not, man? Why not?
You only live once.
Yeah, man. So tell me something. Who you been watching fight lately? Who's your? Since you were in Singapore, I would assume that you watch a little more One and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so definitely one like the Rodtang fight, the Nong O fight last week,
Woo!
man. I was what that I have never seen Rodtang just be demolished like that,
Bro, he got
dude.
destroyed.
Like, I mean, everything he hit him with hurt him,
Yeah,
and you could watch like 50 of his fights and see him get hit with shots that look harder,
yeah.
and he didn't even move.
I watched him,
Uh,
whatever fight that was, he took 2 head kicks. I don't remember who that was. And he walked right through him.
Looks,
But this,
I mean, he was killing him with like hit him with a jab and just looked like he was going to buckle him, man. It
yeah,
was
man,
crazy.
it
And
was
then
great.
I watched I watch a little UFC every once in a while. Like my girl used to be roommates with Roy Nelson, so
Oh, get out of
yeah.
town,
So
Big
when
Roy
she
Nelson.
lived out in Vegas, like her and Roy Nelson were like good mates.
Oh, that's
So
something.
we still watch a little. We watched him on Bellator. Like Roy's he hasn't done what he did what he wanted to do in fighting.
Right.
He's a great man. He's done a lot of great things outside of fighting, and he's a great businessman. And he did him, and he really he sold the persona that he wanted to sell. But
Yeah.
he's such a better fighter than he ever showed.
I mean,
That
I
he
don't
could have
know.
been.
I think people maybe take for granted what he was able to do.
Sure.
I think you go back and watch some of his fights and things that he did, and it's always in retrospect, right? You go back and look and go, damn, Roy was actually really
Yeah.
good. But I knew he was good when he went. They had him on The Ultimate Fighter, right? That was when Kimbo was on.
Yeah, that's right. He
All
took
that,
Kimbo
and I was
out.
like, I said, why are they putting Roy Nelson on here? That's like this guy's great. Like his jujitsu is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it's a setup. It's a setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Roy. Oh, did I lose you? Oh, I got you.
Back. I'm back. I don't know what
All right.
happened there. Yeah. So yeah, man. So you want Joe Stripling, like from Delaware, like
Okay.
Bazooka Joe. He's
Yeah,
fighting.
Bazooka Joe's
He's
out. Yeah.
fighting. Yeah, he's so Bazooka. So not Bazooka Joe, the Canadian guy. This is
Oh, a
Big
different
Joe.
Big Joe.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
fighting on Lion Fight. So he's fighting in the heavyweight. So me and him are pretty good mates, and he's a much better fighter than like people give him credit for as well, man. And he's a big dude. He's like he put out this Christmas video yesterday where he's drinking a beer and hitting pads,
Oh,
getting ready for the heavyweight tournament. Like
that's great.
he's a character too, man. And he just reminds me so much of Roy. And just being such a good fighter and but owning the personality, right?
Right.
Owning who he is and who he wants to be.
It's kind of better to
Um,
do that.
exactly. Don't I got these guys who, even guys that I train who are like, oh man, I want to fight like this guy. Or I want to fight like that guy. And I'm like, you're not that guy.
Right.
Like be yourself, man. Like find your own thing. And that's something that I instill at the gym all the time is I'm not teaching you how like a technique. I'm not teaching you a set of techniques and expect you to do those. I'm gonna give you enough, and then we're gonna build on what you do best.
Right.
And work your weaknesses, of course. But I want you to be your own fighter. So I don't have anybody in who's the same. I've got this guy. This guy's a tank. He's 5'3", 5'4", and just a tank. But he can't fight the guys who are 6'5", and he's
Yeah.
he can't fight that way. So everybody's got their own sort of thing. So that's what I really respect about like those guys who go out there and they're just their own person. But
Yeah, that's always the way to go, man. I think if you're a fighter, you already have to expend a lot of energy mentally and physically, obviously. But to expend mental energy on being something that you're not, and then having to carry that through losses, through, even if you have a change of heart as a person or you become a different person inside, you've created this character, so now you have to stick by this character, even if it's not who you are in your heart. And it takes away sometimes from your fighting, from your ability to go out there and perform.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Stamp Vertex. Like I look at her.
And
Man, I love watching. Like my most favorite part is her coming out and like doing the stamp dance and like having that.
yes,
Like she's just. You don't see anybody who's happier to get in the ring than her.
yeah,
Like she's having a good time. She's having a blast, and then she get in the ring. And hey, she's lost a couple, but she's still herself when she's in there. She's still having a good time.
yeah,
She's still performing how she wants to perform. She doesn't
right.
change, and maybe that's she now I've forgotten.
But she's still young too, so she's
She's
got a
still
long way
young,
to
yeah,
go.
but still loving like life,
Yeah,
man. And luckily I've been able to train with some great coaches over the years and watch them train fighters, maybe not in person, but on social media, and watching
right,
them warm up for fights and different things, man. And just seeing how they can take somebody and just bring out their personality. And I think that
right.
that definitely makes a great coach. Like
I
you see
agree.
some of these guys who are just doing the same thing. It's like, this is what we're going to do. This is our philosophy. And you've got to fit into that box, or you're not going to be on this team,
Right.
and I don't know, maybe the old alpha male like team was more like that, where they were just kind of like, this is how we fight. And all of their guys like really gravitated towards that, and they had those guys who were gravitating towards it. But then you see the great coaches who can just take everybody from and really bring out their personality. And hey, they might not be world champion fighters, but having somebody, and this, like having somebody, even their first
Yeah.
5 fights, and just push them forward and just see how much they grow, and like how much it helps them outside of the ring as well, like in their personal
Yeah.
space and in their personal life. That's 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 better than having a world champion, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think that people need and they enjoy, and it helps them so much to have people believe in them. And
Yeah,
what's crazy about being in the gym is this is not like your personal life per se, where your family has got to, your mom doesn't believe in you in this, but your dad believes you in that, or your brother, or your cousin, or your friends, or whatever. This is somebody trying to teach you some values we'll just say martial arts because
sure.
people do other things through
Yeah,
martial arts, and also telling you and letting you know that they know how hard the struggle is, and that they believe in you. And now you start, the thing is, people start seeing these little bitty things of growth in the gym that translates a little bit into their personal life. Then they hear the belief stuff, and then, the other part of coaching is sort of bringing back to reality. Like they
yeah,
get to, and you're like, hold up. You are great, but there's also, steps and levels, and we're not jumping from, oh man, life sucks, and this isn't, this is hard, to like, I'm great. You're stepping into this thing where you get to grow every day. Every day you get to learn a little bit more about yourself, be better. Sometimes you may not be great, but then you realize, man, I'm working really hard. I'm gonna put more effort in tomorrow or the next day. And yeah, man, I think this is a beautiful thing to believe in people and watch them find out that they can believe in themselves too. It's kind of
exactly.
nutty.
and and sometimes, yeah, I know you said that, like sometimes you got to bring them down a peg, right? Like
Always,
sometimes it's
always.
just like, hey man, like, and it's funny, sometimes you see that, and you see these guys who are, who do really well in sparring, and they're just like, oh man, this is great. I go and I can run through a couple of guys, in sparring, and then you see them and they get in a ring and they just freeze, and it's just
Yeah,
like a completely different person. And you know mentally help people understand that, like, hey, what you're doing in the gym, just because it didn't translate today doesn't mean that you've lost that time, right? Like, doesn't
correct.
mean that, like, this has all been for nothing. My girl lost her last fight. Like, she took a fight out at Rev Gear last year, and
Okay.
everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like, I mean, she tore both her hamstrings leading up to the fight. She, man, I mean, this
Just
she got
a
her
list
period.
of things.
She got her period like 10 minutes before getting in the ring. And fighting a girl who was five times, had more experience than her, 20 years younger than her. And then came out and was, and it didn't go her way, but man, it was just like, we can't let that define you.
No.
Everything that went wrong could go wrong. And now you look at this and you say, what can go right next time, or what else can go wrong? And then try and plan for it, because if you could be the person that you put every single person in, and every single time like they get in, they perform perfectly. I want to know what your secret is, man.
Right, for real.
Because it's such a tough thing to translate that, and not just translate it in the ring, but translate it in life. Like, translate it in a bar situation where someone's getting in your face, and you can smash him, but you don't have to.
Right.
It's just those sorts of things where and I've got a lot of young guys now, like, these 22, 26-year-old guys who are coming up, and I'm like, man, like, you've got a different life to when you and I were 22.
Oh yeah.
It's such a different world. And to try and look at that and say, all right, guys, you need to pull it back sometimes. Like, just, it can't always be go, go, go. It can't always be, this is what I need to do. And instant gratification is the worst thing in the world, right?
Yes.
Like, if you say, I want to train, get better, win my first fight. Yeah, I'm awesome. And then, like, I'm going to take a step back now. Or, I'm going to go into my second fight. I'm not going to train so hard because I trained really hard last time and I didn't need to. Right. Because I still performed at this great level without, and I didn't need to push myself that hard. So then, it's always a balance of pushing these guys to do something. Yeah. Do also, something more and do something different.
Yeah, man. I had I think it's that thing where they're young, right? At least the young ones, right? There's a lack of knowledge, and a lack of knowledge, not of just the craft, but of longevity, how to grow, right, over a period of time. Because my first fight, I fought a dude that actually turned pro after that fight. That was his last amateur fight. I won the fight. I had no clue what I was doing, though. Yep. I didn't have a coach. I called a buddy to give me water in the corner. I trained myself, basically, trained with a bunch of friends. And going into my second fight, I was fighting a tough dude that I thought was, maybe overweight, but I didn't know anything. I didn't know about training. And I went in there thinking, I got this, no problem. I'm in decent shape, and he just whooped me, man. Yep. Whooped me. And I realized after that, man, I know zero. So, I think sometimes it takes that little smack in the face.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes it requires us being good coaches and just being like, yo, man, we got a long way to go. Take your time. A victory doesn't mean you've won the world championship. And a loss doesn't mean that you'll never get there. It's just it's a slow burn. Sometimes it's going to go real fast, and sometimes it's going to go real slow. Yeah. Just got to stay the course and try to grow every day.
I'm still trying to do that.
Man, me too. I tell them every day, I'm still working on my jab. Why are y'all tripping out? I'm 20 years in, still working on this jab. Y'all relax.
I sent this meme the other day, and it said what you think your switch kick looks like and what it actually looks like, Yeah. And one of the guys was like, man, my switch kick is on point. And I was like, dude, no, man, we still got a long way to go.
Yeah, man. It's always a work in progress. Yeah. Oh, man. I really appreciate talking to you, brother. I really do, man.
Man, we need to do this more often.
Yo, you and I are going to, we're going to do some stuff. I don't know what, but we're going to do some stuff.
Well, we got to do a Bermuda trip. You got to get here.
I've been trying to figure out where the hell I'm going to go. I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I know I'm going. Because it's one place that, man. It's one place that I'm not stressing. everywhere else is it feels very stressful. And Bermuda right now, it's going through the same thing, but it's a place I haven't been. It's not on my beaten path of places where all my friends have gone or going or at, or like, it's a place I feel like I can actually get away, see some good people, get some good training, eat some good food, and just chill. So yeah, I'm coming.
I can't wait, man. That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be some epic.
Oh yeah, hold up, real quick.
Oh man, you got the shorts on.
The dopest shorts ever.
Oh man,
am I blocking him? Hold up.
No, we can see him. Look at that.
Yeah, bro.
Oh man,
I call this the coach's tuck.
Yeah,
that's the coach's tuck right there.
I gotta pull my pants up a little higher.
Tuck them in, roll them, yeah, brother. Yo, this is Coach Chuck Morgan, Bermuda, Fight City. Let's go! I love you, brother.
Man.
Thank you for being on.
I love you too, man. It's so good to see you.
Merry Christmas, man.
All right, Merry Christmas. Have a good one. To all you guys listening, man. Crew Lucky is the man. I tell you what, I learned a lot from this man, and I tell you what, this man has pushed me to do things that I didn't think I was going to do. And not only in Muay Thai, but watching him come back from some places where he's been, and he might not know it, but I respect this man more than most people on this planet. So if you are lucky enough to train with him, give this guy a hug from me.
Bro, man, look, I am way too emotional for this shit. I feel like y'all are getting together. And we got to do this at the end, because I've gotten this a few times, bro, and it warms my heart. But y'all don't know how much meeting all of you. I'm reaching out to people that I've met throughout these 20 years that I truly respect, and that I've gotten a chance to know and watch as well. And I'm trying to, like I said this early in my earlier shows, that I want y'all to be respected and get your flowers, so to speak, now, man, because you guys have done so many things, and there's so many people out there already that you see every day on the same shows, the same YouTube, the same Instagram. How many of the same interviews, talks have you seen with the same coaches? And I respect and love all those guys. But there's a few of us out here that people don't know as well, and that they should know, and you're one of them. And I love you, brother.
Oh man, I love you too, man. I can't wait till we hang again, man.
Yo, it's coming, brother. Sooner than you think.
Yeah, I love it, dude.
Peace, my man.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. That was my conversation with Coach Chuck Morgan of Fight City Gym in Bermuda. If you're in Bermuda, make sure you check him out. He's a great guy, has a great gym out there. I'm trying to go out there soon as this COVID is over. If you like the show, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you want to stop by the gym, you already know what it is. www.luckysmt.com. I hope you enjoy the holiday. Merry Christmas. And as Black Santa would say, ho, ho, ho. Now give me out this damn tree.